Multiple cars vandalized overnight in the Hamburg area. I'm Danielle Miskell. This story ahead.
Easter weekend has arrived and the Bluegrass will show you today's event taking a helpful approach for the community. Find out how.
And it's almost Easter, and temperatures in the Commonwealth will be going down before they go up. Find out how long it takes before our next big warm-up. Straight ahead.
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10.
Hello, it's good to have you with us this Saturday. I'm Bodie Brooks, in for Gigi. We begin tonight with multiple residents in the Hamburg area waking up to their cars destroyed. That's where Danielle Miskell is. She's standing on the Summerfield neighborhood where at least 5 cars were vandalized overnight. Good evening, Danielle.
Good evening, Bodie. Yes, this neighborhood off of Winchester Road was targeted by vandals, and there were multiple cars destroyed within blocks of each other. The residents are furious, and they've been sharing their home surveillance footage with each other, and they're all reporting that they're seeing the same car. Home surveillance footage caught this suspicious car cruising around the Summerfield neighborhood at odd hours of the morning. One resident who wishes to remain anonymous says his wife heard something at about 3:30.
My wife heard a loud noise outside and went to the window and looked down and saw a gentleman going back into a vehicle walking away from my truck, and they sped down the street.
He says they went out to check and see what was going on and discovered his truck vandalized.
Looks like they had taken something to damage my rear passenger taillight and back quarter panel of my truck bed and the tailgate.
But this resident wasn't the only target. This morning, he drove around and knocked on some doors, learning that neighbors within blocks of his home had the same misfortune.
I think perhaps I might have been a little more fortunate than some of my neighbors who had their side windows and back windshields busted out.
Summerfield residents believe that the vandals started in their neighborhood and then worked their way down Meeting Street, where they found this car with its windows smashed in. He says no one said anything was stolen, but they're still left with questions.
It was the same answer on the couple of neighbors that I spoke to, just asking why anybody would do this.
All day, the neighborhood has been sharing social media posts of the vandalism and more surveillance footage of what their cameras caught.
And saw what looked like a red sedan. One of my neighbors thought it looks like a Chevrolet Sonic vehicle.
The residents have filed reports with Lexington Police and submitted their footage.
Hopefully, between all of the videos they got and the description of the vehicle, that hopefully they could potentially find whoever did this.
And if you recognize this orange-red colored vehicle or know anything about who vandalized these cars overnight, you're asked to please call the Crime Stoppers anonymous tip line. That number is listed there below for you, or use the P3 Tips mobile app. Live in Lexington, Danielle Miskell. Bodie, back to you.
Danielle, thank you. Well, the sun peeked out today, and we even got a chance to roll our sleeves up. But will the warmer weather stick around for Easter Sunday? Well, let's go to meteorologist David Aldrich to find out. David.
Thanks a lot, Bodie. Yes, it's like Mother Nature's pulling the rug out from under us for tomorrow, because today we were 1 degree above normal. Got up to 69 in Lexington, 71 in Jackson. It was 70 in Louisville. Pretty nice. In fact, you take a look, we had some low 70s in Perry County, down in Hazard, 72 in Monticello, and 66 in Danville, given the fact the normal high is in the upper 60s. But because of the decrease in cloud cover, temperatures have fallen to 52 right now in Mount Sterling, 53 in Lexington at Bluegrass Airport, and we have 58 degrees in McKee. We're going to be dropping down to the 30s, so some of us are under frost advisories as issued by the National Weather Service in Jackson and the National Weather Service in Louisville. So we're down to about 31, 35 in that range. So if you have some potted plants, you might want to bring them in just to be safe, because you might wake up Easter morning and be surprised how cold it got. Most of the showers and storms along the East Coast near Boston or New York City, but it's interesting to see how we're getting some of that cold air dropping down from the Great Lakes. That'll be with us first thing tomorrow, but eventually things will turn around. At least for tonight, though, decreasing clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy, at least for the start, but you'll find fewer clouds when you wake up. Winds are a little busy here at 10, but no wind to speak of in Danville at this point, so we'll be dropping all the way down to about 33 in the morning, so be prepared. You'll see your breath. More on your Easter forecast in just a moment.
All right, David, thank you. Many Easter festivities taking place across town today, but the Easter Recovery Bash had more than just egg baskets and candy for the kids. Hosted by the Token Club, the Sober Living Group wanted to bring the community together after feeling disconnected since the start of the pandemic. Free food, free HIV testing, and job opportunities were available for those in recovery looking for work. Speakers came out to share their stories of overcoming addiction, talking about multiple ways to recover, and spreading a message of hope in light of the Easter holiday.
For me, getting together with everybody, it's about being with people that are like-minded, been through the same struggles. That way we can share our experience and try to help others recover. I mean, this is like our safe space, you know. It's the only place that we have as addicts in recovery, and even addicts in active addiction, to come and just not be judged, not be stereotyped, not be put down, and not be stigmatized because we chose a different way to cope with life.
The Token Club has meetings daily across central Kentucky. To find out more information, visit bluegrassintergroup.org. While COVID cases are declining across the Commonwealth, we're not out of the woods just yet. The Hope Center and Emergency Shelter, along with several other area organizations, are teaming up to help slow the spread of COVID. It's made possible through a partnership with Anthem, who provided the Hope Center with 300 COVID test kits. Kits were also provided to the Lexington Rescue Mission and Salvation Army. The Hope Center plans to use the rapid tests for people experiencing homelessness. Staff at the Hope Center says this population often has a difficult time gaining access to needed supplies, so they want to do their part to help bridge the gap.
You know, it's pretty hard to get those rapid tests in stores, so we're really excited that we got a big donation of those, and it's going to be super easy for our clients to have access to those. We want to make sure that all of our clients here at the Hope Center that are here, you know, for quite a long time or just for a night, that they're staying safe and, you know, they can go back to their communities.
In total, Anthem distributed 5,000 test kits across Kentucky. For more information about the Hope Center or ways that you can help, visit fox56news.com. The Animal Wellness Action Organization has called on the Kentucky's State Veterinarian's Office to investigate the circumstances surrounding the death of the 8-year-old champion Laubin. The former winner of the 2016 Jim Dandy Stakes in Saratoga died in Versailles in 2021. While he was being cared for there, he was given a 9-year-old expired medication to boost the stallion's libido before his death. The organization emphasized the importance of this investigation after the recent string of controversies surrounding horse racing. A former University of Kentucky football player is a person of interest in connection to a fatal shooting in Dallas. Dallas police say former Wildcat and current Cowboys quarterback Kelvin Joseph is wanted for questioning in connection to a shooting death last month. The victim, 20-year-old Cameron Ray, was fatally shot after a fight with a group of people that police believe includes Joseph. Joseph, a second-round pick by the Cowboys last year, started in 9 games for the University of Kentucky in 2020. A volunteer from Kentucky tried to bring some Easter cheer to Ukrainian refugees crossing into Poland at the border. The refugees are mostly women and children. They say they plan to celebrate Easter despite the way their lives have been disrupted. The man in the Easter bunny costume, identified only as Ben, says he wanted to put smiles on the children's faces.
I'm here to help. I'm dressed like this today because, as it turns out, it's a very traumatic experience for these people to come across the border. And if I can contribute a little, if I can put a smile on a kid's face, make it less stressful and traumatic, and just alleviate a little bit of the suffering, welcome these refugees and show the world solidarity, that's just my little part to do.
The latest figures from the UN Refugee Agency indicate the total number of people who have left Ukraine is more than 4.5 million, with over 2.5 million of them going to Poland. Well, excitement is building in Richmond as a new business opened its doors to first responders. Buc-ee's won't open to the public until next Tuesday, but today owners of the megastore allowed local first responders to stop in and check out the new space, which will be home to over 120 gas pumps and over 53,000 square feet. Buc-ee's hired over 400 employees for their latest store, and festivities will take place all day Tuesday as the store kicks off its grand opening. Coming up next, we take a look at the Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week. A man was involved in using a forklift to steal an ATM. Can you help identify who this person is? Plus, watch Fox 56 News no matter where you are. You can now stream live newscasts on the Fox 56 mobile app and on fox56news.com. We'll be right back.
The first 10 minutes of Fox 56 News at 10 were brought to you commercial-free. Sponsored by UK Federal Credit Union. This is Fox 56 News with Georgia Reed Godfrey, sports with Michael Epps, and weather with David Aldrich.
In December of last year, a man with an elaborate plan, a stolen U-Haul and a forklift, pulled off the overnight heist of an ATM from a Georgetown bank. Police later found the U-Haul and the empty ATM, but in the 4 months since, no word on the identity of the dark figure who orchestrated such a complicated crime. Here's another look in the hopes that you can tell Crime Stoppers who it is.
This is my favorite angle, by the way. Gosh.
Ask Georgetown detectives to sum up the theft from Stockyards Bank and Trust, and they'll tell you.
Interesting.
Interesting because there are so many moving parts, and.
So it's a one-man operation?
That's what I think.
Just one man who hit pay dirt.
But it was not easy.
Elaborately orchestrated, yes, but the plan wasn't without its flaws.
Obviously, whoever did this has some sort of experience with this big machinery. Except for I think he misjudged his clearance there on the roof. He almost brings that down on top of him.
That's mistake one. Then watch what happens as he tries to maneuver the stolen ATM into the stolen U-Haul.
So right there, it's stuck on the forks, and he's going to drop it by accident right there. Yeah, he drops it. When he tries to pick it up with his forks, he actually pushes it down a hill, and it rolls down a hill. Has to move his entire operation south so he can pick up his stolen ATM for a second time.
At this point, the stolen ATM was little more than crumpled metal, but the cash box was still intact. After retrieving it from closer to the Scott County Public Library, the man makes his getaway. Richer, yes, but for how long? Because of Crime Stoppers, there's money in it for you, too, by telling us who this man is.
And if you've heard any chatter about the December ATM heist in Georgetown or know who that man is, Crime Stoppers will pay you for your anonymous information. Call the tip line at 253-2020 or go online to p3tips.com.
And today's high temperature came in at 69 degrees. The bigger question is, what about Easter? Will Peter Cottontail need a jacket tomorrow morning? We'll have to explore that idea after the break.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Aw, he's camera shy. Shh, Bodie, don't scare the bunny. Don't scare the bunny. That's all I gotta say. And look, his nose is twitching. His nose is twitching. Anyway, Easter Sunday's tomorrow, and I don't know if you know this, but just a few short hours away. Easter sunrise at 7 o'clock if you happen to be going to an Easter sunrise service. Now, tomorrow, of course, at 7 a.m., it's gonna be cold enough to seize your breath because it'll be so frosty cold across many of our counties shaded in blue. And that includes Fayette County and Lexington, all the way down towards, say, Perry County and Hazard, and all toward Pike County. So temperatures could drop as low as 31, but most of us probably closer to 33. Just cold enough that you might want to bring in those potted plants. The frosty cold by morning, that's what we anticipate. We expect a cold, I'll say a cool Easter Sunday, because again, normal high would be in the upper 60s, will be in the 50s tomorrow. And then last but not least, the rain moves in Sunday night. And those are your weather headlines. I hope I had your ear for that. Maybe 2 ears. That's a possibility. But temperature right now, 54 in Richmond, 60 in Jackson. We've got 60 in Pikeville and 57 in Williamsburg. If you look at tomorrow, Easter Sunday, if you might be headed out to church services by midday, once you get out, 48 and 57. So we're going to be running about, I'd say 11, 12 degrees below average. 6 o'clock, the clouds might start to increase, but the sun will be setting at 8:16 tomorrow night. So be prepared for a cool night. Lots of sunshine, but those high clouds as well. So what happens on Sunday night, he asked. Well, it's a fair question. Many of us will pick up about a ½ inch, maybe closing in on 3/4 of an inch in Madison County. But by the time we hit midday on Monday, it's all gone. In fact, it may be cold enough to snow around Snowshoe, West Virginia, well to the east. We'll look at that here in a second. But by 7 o'clock, sun's up on your Easter Sunday. It looks pretty good. Just some high, thin clouds. That's all we'll find. And that wind generally moving out of the northeast for a little while. Then more high clouds by 4 o'clock. So the end of the afternoon, all is good. But then we see the clouds starting to gather. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And look toward Evansville. All that heavy rain while many of us are asleep. That's 3:30 in the morning on Monday. And you might be thinking, oh, the morning commute, it's going to be pretty sloppy. The ground will be wet. Certainly the ground will be wet, but watch what it moves out pretty quickly. 6 o'clock Monday morning, changing over to some snow east of Beckley and toward West Virginia in the higher terrain. But this front will come in and will actually dry things out for the second half of your Monday. Pretty sweet, and it will be obviously getting colder in the wake of that front. So let's break it down for you, at least tonight. It's going to be chilly, if not cold. 33 degrees, your low temperature. It will be partly cloudy. Winds about 3 to 8 plus during the overnight period. Lows about 34 in Mount Sterling, 33 in Flemingsburg, and about 36 degrees in Jackson. High temperatures for your Easter, mid to upper 50s here, but we're talking low 60s for Williamsburg and Harlan, so temperatures a little milder to the far south. 57, cool Easter, sunshine with these high, thin cirrus clouds. They'll be with us, and gusts about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Here's your Fox 56 Weather Authority forecast. We've got breezy conditions Monday, gusts 25 to 30 on Monday, 55 double nickels again on Tuesday, mix of sun and clouds, and dare I say showers on Thursday. But just go ahead and look at Saturday, Bodie. For 80 degrees, I mean, spring fever has sprung. Next Saturday, folks are already thinking about what they're going to do next weekend.
Until then, I'll have to remember to hop into a jacket. Thank you, David. Well, baseball and softball action happening this Easter weekend. Michael Epps here to break it all down. Michael, Cats on the Diamond. What's the news?
Yeah, buddy, it's important to win the weekend, especially in conference play. The 2 out of 3, right? The weekend series, UK softball and baseball, both a very important SEC weekend series, each needing a big win tonight, today for different reasons. later in the show, so stay tuned, buddy.
All right, Michael, we'll see you a little later. Still ahead tonight on Fox 56, terror in a South Carolina mall. The latest on a mass shooting, sending several to the hospital. What police believe is behind it when we return.
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10:30.
10 people have been shot at a shopping mall in Columbia, South Carolina. 2 of the shooting victims were critically injured. 2 other people were injured in a stampede. No fatalities were reported. The victims ranged in age from 15 to 73. 3 people have been detained in connection with the incident, which happened this afternoon at the Columbiana Center Mall. Police say the shooting was not random. They say it apparently stemmed from a conflict among the suspects.
Don't believe this was random. I think that's very important in situations like this. We believe that the individuals that were armed knew each other, and there was some type of conflict that occurred that resulted in gunfire. This was not a situation where we had some random person show up at a mall to, discharge a firearm and just, injure people.
Police say all 3 of the people who have been detained had firearms. They say at least one of them fired a weapon. Well, back here at home, our regular Indiana Jones back crisscrossing the Commonwealth. Where did your adventures take you today, David Aldrich?
I go where the weather conditions are. I found a mix of sun and clouds in a very specific spot here in the Commonwealth. Well, maybe we'll fly down to it because we're down here in Knox County. Have you been to Knox County lately? Barberville? Yes, Barberville's a delightful place. In fact, I got a chance to dive in a little bit deeper. There's the city. In fact, it has a big old sign. It says, "Greetings from Barberville." Yeah, it's hard to miss. Miss. They're in Kentucky. Now, they were established in 1800. That's a long time ago. Happy Easter. I think we're all in that mode. Barberville showing their Easter pride. In fact, there was quite a bit of Easter decorations today. But it's also home to the Daniel Boone Festival, which was established in 1948. You got to go there the first full week in October, so set your calendar. By the way, they have a great statue of Daniel Boone. I love this. I think every guy says this. I can't say I was lost, but I was bewildered 3 times, or 3 days. I'm not sure I was even asked for directions. But anyway, Daniel Boone is represented there. Knox County Courthouse, beautiful. You see some blue sky, also some clouds. It had a good blend of the two. Spring is in the air in Barberville. Oh, it's magical. I'd say it's magical. And you know what? If you forget your umbrella, you don't even need it. They'll cover you. They'll cover you. They've got, in this alley anyway, you'll be covered from the rain. Bloom where you're planted. I love that. It's a great expression. Didn't hear that before until today. Saw that. And I love my city, y'all. That's what it's all about. There is a lot of love in Barberville. There's a lot to love in Barberville. You can see it right there on the sign. So in love with Barberville, Kentucky. Hopefully you'll check it out. By the way, not only is Union College a fixture down here, but they were also the 2017, I believe, men's basketball national champions, Division II, of course, but it was established in 1879. That's a long time ago. Union College is also something to check out. Whether it's the fake Easter Bunny or the real Easter Bunny Visitor Center, they had a lot of fun out there today. And I don't know if you know this, but bombshell beauties are living the dream out there. And the ugly mug, well, some of them are pretty. Not all of them are pretty, but some can't always be pretty. You just have to be grateful with what you're given. And if you take that one step, you might only have 2 friends. You might only have 2 amigos. But you can make friends down in Barberville. Crave it. Yes, you'll have donuts, coffee. You even have the cool root beer stand, Tommy's, out there as well. I'd say it's an oasis. Barberville, Knox County. Just a little review. Anyway, temperature tonight down to 33 in the morning. It'll be frosty cold. More on your Easter forecast, Bodie, in just a moment.
As a genuine root beer cream soda fan, I'll have to stop by for a sip. Thank you, David. Well, the Easter Bunny was a special guest at the state capitol this afternoon. Residents across the Commonwealth took advantage of the spring weather to enjoy festivities held on the Capitol grounds in celebration of the holiday weekend. Food trucks and music by the St. Stephen Church praise team livened the afternoon. Kids of all ages took part in arts and crafts, games, and an Easter egg hunt.
Super fun. It was like the most funnest Easter egg hunt I've had, and I've had a lot of them.
Jordan says it was his first time ever visiting the Capitol and that he hopes to come again with his family next year. A Lexington burglary suspect is the Crime Stoppers wanted person of the week. Lexington police need your help finding David Tackett. Detectives say the 40-year-old has 1 warrant for a charge of 3rd-degree burglary. If you know where he is, you can anonymously provide that info by calling the Crime Stoppers tip line at 253-2020 or by going online to p3tips.com. The organization will pay a cash reward if your information leads to Tackett's arrest. Coming up, get your passports out. We're going around the world. Find out why residents are in an uproar in Paris after the break. Plus, watch Fox 56 News no matter where you are. You can now stream live newscasts on the Fox 56 News mobile app and on fox56news.com. We'll be right back. Well, get your passports ready as we start in Jerusalem and end back in the Mile High State as we go around the world in 56. Violence continued for a second day at a key Muslim holy site in Jerusalem Friday. Skirmishes between Palestinians and Israeli forces injured 152 people and hundreds were detained. Fierce battles erupted the day before as Israeli riot police entered the mosque area. Police in Paris used tear gas and pepper spray on demonstrators who were speaking out against the far-right presidential candidate Marine Le Pen. Thousands of far-right protesters marched all across France on Saturday. They said they want to present a united front to prevent Le Pen from winning an election runoff against incumbent President Emmanuel Macron on April 24th. Civilians were fleeing for cover in parts of eastern Ukraine after a barrage of rockets and shelling by Russian forces hit the town of Lysychansk on Saturday. Residents in the area were seen crouching on the ground as gunfire and the sounds of explosions went off the background, leaving emergency workers scrambling to put out the blaze. Firefighters in Colorado are battling wildfires across the state. At least 5 new large fires have been reported, with more than 1,500 firefighters responding. In Larimer County, mandatory evacuation orders are in place for residents in the Blue Mountain area after a fire broke out on Friday. Coming up, 5 things to know before bed. Find out more on the new electric vehicle maker entering the market here in the States.
Well, many of us are in the 40s and 50s right now, but many of us will wake up to the 30s in the morning. More details on your Easter forecast in just a moment. Stay with us.
Peloton is increasing the price of their subscriptions, and AMC theaters are accepting a new form of payment. These are 5 things to know before bed. A major fitness company makes changes in pricing for products and plans. Peloton has announced that it's making cuts to its Bike Plus, and Tread machines, while also increasing its subscription fees for services such as fitness training. Product costs will drop, ranging from $150 to $300. Subscription fees will go up for the first time ever to $5 a month in the U.S. and $6 a month in Canada. Peloton says it's making the changes to help grow its market. Another electric vehicle maker enters the market, and its products arrive on the West Coast soon. VinFast, the Vietnamese entry into electric cars, will begin exporting a lineup of all-electric SUVs to California later this year. A VinFast executive says the company will have 30 dealers operating there by the end of the year before expanding nationwide. VinFast will have one unique marketing feature. Power batteries won't be standard, but will be leased separately and then recycled at the end of their use. A chain of movie theaters now lets you pay in a way that's as high-tech as the movies you watch. AMC theaters will now accept Dogecoin and Shiba Inu cryptocurrencies for purchasing tickets and concessions in their cinemas. Moviegoers can now select BitPay as their payment option if they are holders of those 2 cryptocurrencies. AMC chief Adam Aron made the announcement Friday on Twitter, saying the new payment method is available in the latest updated version of their app. Well, a common arts and crafts product is recalled over potential fire safety issues. Discount chain Dollar Tree is recalling 1 million Crafters square hot glue guns over potential fire and skin irritation risks. The hot glue guns were made in China and sold at Dollar Tree from August 2020 through February 2022, and also at Family Dollar from this January to February. The glue guns are black with an orange trigger and tip. Consumers can go online to both company websites to search for product recall information. Jerry Seinfeld's TV mom passes away. Liz Sheridan played Helen Seinfeld in 21 episodes from 1990 to 1998. Before becoming Jerry's TV mom, Sheridan worked on Broadway and had roles in several 80s TV shows, including Moonlighting and Saint Elsewhere. Liz Sheridan died from natural causes. She was 93 years old. And that's 5 things to know before you go to bed. Now let's get another look at the weather with meteorologist David Aldrich.
Now your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Thanks a lot, Bodie. Yes, Easter is just a few minutes away, right? Once we hit midnight, and of course, Peter Cottontail will be hopping around. A lot of kids are excited. Not only do they get some candy, maybe some jelly beans, but maybe they get to celebrate like this little bunny does tomorrow. But just want to say a special thanks to all of you watching, because I know it means different things to different people. We want to wish you a happy Easter, a happy Resurrection Day. However you spend it tomorrow, we hope it is a special one. By the way, it's frosty cold, though, in the morning, 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's when we're going to see your breath and also be concerned about anything that might be exposed to the elements. If you have a potted plant that's sensitive to the cold, we could drop as low as 31 to 35 degrees. Now, is this normal? Why be normal? In fact, the last time we typically see our freeze is, well, last Thursday, the 14th. But we could typically see our last frost around the 24th of April. Where do these numbers come from? Where do these dates come from? They come from the Louisville office for the National Weather Service. Again, it's an average, but it gives you an idea that usually about a week from tomorrow, we start to see an end of the frosty pattern around here. 60 degrees is our current temperature in Jackson, 59 in Hazard, 53 in Lexington, and 50 degrees in Danville. We have our current temperatures are going to be dropping pretty quickly with the decrease in cloud cover. Now, Easter Sunday, we're going to go from about 40 at 9 with some hazy sun, but you'll notice these high clouds. It'll be a cool Easter relative to the time of year, because we normally expect highs in the upper 60s. We'll be lucky to get to 57 degrees by 3 o'clock. But there is a sign. I heard Chris Johnson mention this last night. It's going to get warmer across not only the Commonwealth, but it's like a blowtorch across much of the country, from anywhere from St. Louis to Atlanta to Richmond. That means everybody's probably going to be well above normal during that time frame right through the 26th of April. Now, we'll probably be average. That's what the EC means, equal chances. It's not above or below for precipitation, but maybe normal in that same time frame through April 26th. Now, the temperature's going to get pretty cold, 33 by morning. That's sunrise tomorrow. By, say, midday, by the time church services let out. We're in the upper 40s. Finish the day about 57, but there will be a few 60s in the lower 60s from Williamsburg back toward Monticello, further south in southeast Kentucky. But as I mentioned, by late tomorrow night, 11 o'clock, all this rain comes in, expecting about a ½ inch of rain on average for most. It slices through 4 o'clock. Well, many of you are sleeping, unless you're a light sleeper, because there could be some rumbles of thunder in here as well. And all this energy from London, Corbin, Jackson, back toward Pikeville, 6 a.m. It's not the easiest start to the day, but by 8 o'clock, things start to improve dramatically here, but lots of clouds at least to start, and then voila, sunshine pops out for the second half of the day on Monday, with temperatures also in the mid-50s. So it's not going to warm up until later next week. And boy, will it warm up pretty quickly. So for tonight, we're down to 33, a pair of threes, partly cloudy, frosty, cold, winds about 3 to 8 miles per hour. Low temperature about 38 for London, 34 for Mount Sterling, 35 for Moorhead, and should reach about 56 for Moorhead tomorrow, 60 in Jackson, 57 for Danville. But 57 is pretty chilly for this time of year. We'll call it a cool Easter with gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour. Take a look at the Fox 56 Weather Authority forecast. Breezy on, say, Monday, as we're talking gusts 25 to 30. But look ahead to some showers coming in on Thursday. Saturday, 80 degrees, woohoo, spring fever. It's also the day that Kentucky-born Chris Stapleton comes to town. He's at Kroger Field with Willie Nelson and Sheryl Crow and Yola. Amazing. All that's next Saturday. By the way, stay with us. More sports after the break.
Now, Fox 56 Sports, sponsored by Arby's.
Welcome back. The Lexington Legends have a new friend in town this summer, the Wild Health Genomes. It's hard to miss them, right, with that hot pink. They start their seasons next week, but they faced off in an exhibition game this evening. They share the same stadium, but they didn't even play there today. They played at Eastern Kentucky's ballpark. Strong start for Daniel Corsino. He gets the punch out in the first inning. Had a lot of them. First guy on the mound in this new Legends Genomes rivalry. First hit came off the bat of Boog Powell. 2 singles in his first 2 at-bats. He beat up the Legends last year playing on other teams, they're certainly happy to have him on their side this time around. No runs until the third inning, bases jacked. It's a pass ball, so the runner comes on home. Legends take a 1-0 lead. But the new kids, the Gnomes, they get the bases jacked in the fifth. Bases loaded walk ties it, and a pass ball right here, play at the plate, not in time. The run scores, and Corsino, he rolled his ankle pretty bad when he dove to apply the tag. He was rolling around there, so we're hoping he's okay for opening weekend. They're going to need him on the mound. Genomes win 4-2 in their first meeting, but technically doesn't count. Still a good time. Busy day at Earl Combs Stadium because earlier in the day, EKU had a home game against Central Arkansas, wrapping up the weekend series. Bottom of the fifth, Kearns down 3-2. 2 runners on for Logan Thomason, who crushes this pitch to left field. He murders this ball. It sails over the scoreboard for a 3-run bomb. Kearns go up 5-3, but the Bears responded in the next frame. Tanner Leonard launches a moonshot. Roderick Chris chasing this one out in center field, but he just runs out of real estate, slams into the wall right there. 2-run shot ties it at 5. Now, Chris wanted some revenge for that one. It doesn't hurt to run into the wall, but he wanted to get one out there, so he comes up to the plate in the bottom half and crushes it to center. Center fielder doesn't even try to go for that one. He knows it's long gone. Solo shot to take the lead. Big-time moment. The bats were flying. 8 home runs in this game, and EKU wins the game 8-6. Let's head up to Georgetown College. They're having a good season, receiving votes in the NAIA baseball rankings. 14-5 in the Mid-South, 3rd place in the conference. It's pretty good. They're taking on Campbellsville, who won Friday's game. Luis Lopez was zoned in on the mound for them, though. The backdoor slider, locking knees. Good pitch. Tigers working from behind. Kristen Salatanis with a nice slider. Catches him looking, then blows the fastball right by him. Getting amped up on the mound. You love to see it. Now, last chance for them in the bottom of the 7th, down to their final out. Jackson Spielberg extends his hands to this pitch, hits it the other way. It drops in for a single, but nothing after that. Good play here at the hot corner to end the game as Campbellsville gets the final out. They only play 7 innings for Game 1, and Georgetown took Game 2. It was a busy day at Eastern Kentucky with the baseball games, as we showed you, and at Roy Kidd Stadium, the football team took the next step in spring ball with the team scrimmage. They're getting ready for that maroon and white spring game 2 weeks from today. That adorable pup was having a good time today. Kickoff for that spring game is set for 3 p.m. EKU is wrapping up the 2nd week of spring practice. Threw on pads on Tuesday. Returning quarterback Parker McKinney put together some good reps along with the backups. Good drop back right there, thrown to the sideline. EKU went 7-4 last year, proved it can win games with a 5-game winning streak in the middle of the fall. So they feel like they're close to competing for a little bit more.
You know, I think you can see our team is picking up from where we did in the fall. And which is a plus because of our quarterback on offense, and on defense we have a lot of guys back. So really pleased with how we're moving forward. Got to continue to develop our depth, our competitive spirit, and things like that, but that comes around as you keep pushing through spring.
Lastly, we wrap up with some hoops. There are 10 former UK players in the NBA playoffs, headlined by Karl Anthony Towns. A ridiculous dunk he had in today's win over Memphis. They're the 7th seed, taking on 2-seeded Memphis Grizzlies. They have a shot in this series, and Kat, obviously you got a shot winning any game with him on your team. So 10 guys, we'll have more on them tomorrow as the first round of the playoffs continues.
Pretty exciting. Got to have some hometown pride. All right, last check of the weather before we hop out of here.
Going to be pretty chilly tomorrow in the 50s.
All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow night.